Alright, quick update on waves. So it looks like we're having a further push back below your 786 Fibonacci at $20. I've said this in all of my videos for KNC since we started making them up here at $63, that your 786 Fibonacci down here at $20 is your absolute last line in the sand. And as this is an uptrend best defined on the daily time frame, in my opinion, the fact that we have put in consecutive daily closes below the 786 Fibonacci means that at least from a technical perspective, this entire uptrend is invalidated and the move to the downside is more likely. But if we look at the daily squeeze mom, we are having a huge momentum shift where bears are losing control of the macro uptrend. Now, the last time we had a macro upswing like this, we were down here. We were on the 1st of February, approximately at $9, and we had a bullish momentum swing all the way up till when we started topping out, and from the close, that is literally a 5x. Bear in mind, I'm not cherry picking the data, I'm simply pointing out when the squeeze mom topped, or rather when the squeeze mom bottomed in terms of the bearish momentum, and when the squeeze mom topped in terms of the bullish momentum. If I was to draw this and cherry pick the data points, I could argue, you know, the squeeze mom called a 680% increase, but if we're simply doing it from the conservative targets, where the squeeze mom simply said we're topping out or we're bottoming out, we moved up 5x. This was not an instant signal. You can see we actually proceeded to put in a dead cat bounce and move back down to the lows and back test the lows twice before we did have this macro momentum shift. So it is possible that waves could be setting up for one last back test of the previous low that we put in. So, you know, ideally we'd really want to hold $18.51. If we do break below there, then we only have this previous point where we previously bottomed before the recent uptrend. That is all the way down at $16.81. If we lose that, then, you know, $13.50, and then if we lose that, I mean, we're pretty much going to go down to like $9 or $10. So I'm sure that's not what most people want to see. It is a good sign, I guess, that their USDN, the USD neutrino stablecoin, has returned to its peg of $1 or close enough. If you weren't aware of what's going on, basically waves had this massive fall off the table because people were accusing it of being a Ponzi scheme. At the same time as their coin waves was pumping, their USDN stablecoin lost its peg to $1. So people were accusing it of using its USDN stablecoin reserves to pump their crypto artificially. Now, I'm not going to bring my opinion into this. However, it is not good when you see news like this coming out. It's not good when you see the charts calling that this has been invalidated as we've moved back below the 786. I'm personally not looking to get into a trade for waves right now, while we do have all these bearish signals. And I highlighted this in the past couple of videos. I do think we're going to do something like this, where we're really just going to chop around and chop people out for the next week or so before we probably do have a bottom, because I imagine a lot of crypto investors don't care if their favorite crypto, waves included, is a quote-unquote Ponzi scheme. They don't care about the bad news on the press. They just see price go up, I want to buy. So I do assume that people are going to come back and start accumulating waves again at some point. If we look at the MFI and see what the money is doing, you can see that the money flow indicator has recently had a very harsh bottom at 12. We've really not come down to this level that often. We've only come down to 11 once, so I would have to assume that this is the macro bottom. However, that does not mean that we can't have a move down to $17 before having a reversal. So I'm going to be sitting on the sideline for waves for this one. I see a lot of chop, I see a lot of M patterns. You know, it's all over the chart, whether you know, it's not the perfect M on this one, but nonetheless we are Ming out. I mean, to be fair, this one was actually pretty perfect, where you've got an M like this, and we haven't broken below the floor, but we are currently gearing up for that move back below down to the floor. The 4 hourly MA has more, or the 4 hourly MFI has more room to move to the downside. And all in all, I do not think that the local bottom is in for waves yet, but I do think the macro bottom is very near. So I would have to assume that we are going to bottom anywhere between $17, absolute worst $14. I don't expect us to move lower than that. However, I'm not willing willing to try and catch a falling knife on this one, and I'm actually personally not looking to trade Waves at all. Since their most recent fiasco, accused of being a Ponzi scheme, they were basically in every crypto news article. And I just don't think it's a good sign for Waves. I don't think it's a good sign how we completely invalidated your previous all-time high. I don't think it's good how we ran up this fast and didn't hold the 618. So in my opinion, the chart doesn't look good, but I do think people will come back to buy this at some point soon. So I'm predicting the bottom will be around / near $17. But I do think we've got more chop coming in for the next couple of weeks. And by chop, I mean this. I mean, we're going to chop out the bulls, chop out the bears, and keep on having breakout, fake outs until we do decide where our macro bottom is. That's all I've got for Waves. Doesn't look safe to enter for me, at least in my opinion, so I'm not going to be entering. Best of luck if you're planning on trading it. If you like the video today, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with your friends. That's all I've got for you. And yeah, once again, none of this is financial advice. And as always, cowboy out. Peace.